And one final question, Neil, and I wouldn't even try to hide it. This is only because I can extract a clip out of that and get the channel rolling. A quick thought about Devon versus Levan. Do you think that Devon is kind of worried? Or because I'm asking you that question for two reasons. Number one,
Mhm.
Levan is not responding to Devon at all. This is, I think, the first time that is happening to Devon LARRATT. Second of all, I think right now, that may sound strange to many people, but Devon LARRATT is the most hated arm wrestler also. He's also the most loved arm wrestler, but he is also the most hated arm wrestler in the world if you're talking about numbers. That is also, that has never happened to Devon before. That title was held by Michael Todd, and Ryan Bowen also in 2020 was giving a really hard battle to Michael. Both of them have started getting a lot of love right now. I'm talking about Michael and Ryan. But
Sure.
Devon is definitely, I do not have any doubt about that, right now, the most hated arm wrestler in the world. So are these things, do you think Devon is bothered because he deleted a video, rules rant video, he's continuously making a video? To me, he sounds kind of worried about this match.
It's hard to say, isn't it? I mean, Devon is a very smart operator. He loves to create that environment of chaos. He thrives in that environment. He wants to be the first line of the poem if, doesn't he? If you can keep your head when all around are losing theirs and blaming it on you, is the essence of what Devon LARRATT wants to do in this situation. If he feels within himself, as he no doubt does, and I'm sure he's been told by a lot of people, that from a physical perspective, he's up against it with a guy like Saginashvili, then he will look for other avenues. He'll look to create that environment where he can apply mental fatigue on Levan. He will know that for everyone that uh, gives him abuse online, there's someone there that will give him love and support and fight his corner. And he knows his own threshold. He knows his ability to deal with that. The unknown factor here is what's Levan's. Is Levan sensitive to that or not? I don't even know whether Devon's aware of that. But what I do think he'd do is try to press those buttons. He'd try to find out. He'll try to create that environment where there's chaos, where there's a little bit of unrest, and see if that adjusts the game a little bit, throws Levan out of his comfort zone. Levan's a smart guy and seems to be keeping way out of it. Whenever I have dealt with Levan, he has been a very straightforward, very humble. He's like a big dog, just a super nice, warm, friendly individual. He probably doesn't really like the antagonistic style. He probably doesn't like that adversarial format and that scenario. And he's just trying to keep himself distant from that and to concentrate on where he feels that he is the favorite and has an advantage, which is at the arm wrestling table. I think things will get a lot hotter before they go cool. I think that environment's gonna continue to bristle and boil as we head into the show. I think that Devon will continue to try to exert a little bit of mental pressure. Some people are loving for that, some people not so much. You can take your chances, you can pick your favourites, and that's what everybody's going to do. It'll be interesting to see if Levan's stance changes on that, or whether he just keeps very much in the shadows, and what version of Levan Saginashvili and in what environment shows up. Does he come in calm and collected? Does he come in unbothered? Or does he come in angry? Is this all part of Devon's plan? Is he just looking for Levan to show up flustered, angry, aggressive, out of his game? Does he feel like that gives him an edge? I don't know. Everybody's going to have their opinions. There'll be people whispering in Devon's ear, don't hunt what you can't kill. What do you think?
No, I think you're asking me
Hmm.
about the prediction or about the mind games going into this prediction.
Yeah.
I
Do you
think
think Devon's really flustered, or do you just think he's creating an environment that he thrives in and he doesn't know how others do?
I think Devon is genuinely worried because I've never seen Devon. Devon has always been playing his mental games, but those
Mm-hmm.
never included making himself look kind of worried about the situation. I've never seen that from Devon, and this is the first time. The
But
biggest
even
thing,
with Chafee,
I don't think where Neil, you were in that room. Devon, there was a different look
yeah, I
on
remember
Devon's
the
face.
night.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I
there was a
remember
different.
the
But
lead up to the Chafee match. People were saying, "Wow, he's lost it. Devon's lost it. He's really emotional. He's really unsettled. He's." And I don't think for 1 minute that was the case. That at that time, I think Devon was manufacturing things. I think he was creating an environment, and in order to sell that, he's got to sell it. And it'll be interesting to see over the next few months. I don't think Devon's got warmed up yet. I think Devon is skilled in the art of mental warfare. I think he likes that environment and he likes to try and press buttons. And I think he'll experiment on the build up to that. I'm keen to see what the approach of Levan is and whether Levan stays completely out of that, distances himself. It's difficult to hit something you can't see, isn't it? If you're getting nothing back, if you're trying to antagonize someone and you get it, it's hard to keep focused on that. You need another plan. How does that affect Devon? Does that affect Devon? It's a fascinating scenario, really. As long as it doesn't derail the match, I'm not too concerned about it. I'm going to just let them play the games, let them do the thing. What I really want is for when the guys meet at the table, it doesn't descend into some kind of strange situation where we don't see it decided by arm wrestling. I want to see this thing deliver on the magnitude of the match, that it is arguably the most notable match, certainly in the last decade. And I hope that it delivers upon that.
yeah, so
It'd be
it is
kind of a
going to be.
travesty if it didn't.
So about the mind games, Neil, there is one more comment from Ryan. Perhaps drama for his documentary. Maybe Devon is trying to create some drama for the documentary, and we don't know that yet.
Quite possibly. I think that very little that happens right now in Devon's environment when arm wrestling is involved happens by accident. I think he's a deep thinker. I think he's got a real strategy and approach. And I'm sure that most of what we see from Devon is part of a plan. And I think it's, I don't know whether the plan will work, but I think it's one that he's got the courage of his convictions and he'll probably stick to, and he'll evolve as time goes forward. I think it's going to get exciting on the lead up to this thing.
Right. Let's hope that it is a very close match. Nothing else the fans would love to see.
I really do. That's what it needs, mate. We need that battle. We need that scrap. I hope this thing stops and goes off. Cannot wait.
So guys, the match is going to be on King of the Table 4 on June 25th.